let's clear a few things up, yeah? It's, first of all, that's better. So for the Tommy Robinson show, this is the situation we're in. Rebel UK, if you're watching this, give it a share so people hear it, so people understand it. I was asked, January, Christmas time, will I make videos for Rebel? It took me 3 months before I made a video. Do you know why it took me 3 months before I made a video? Because I was working every day. I was working every day. I've got 3 children. Any of you are kids, yeah? You know what it's like. If I finish work, I have football training, I have dance, do you know what I've just missed tonight? I've missed my daughter's brownie promise tonight. I missed her brownie promise, man, which is annoying me as it is, yeah? But I've missed that tonight. And the reason why I've missed that tonight, just so I'll briefly explain, I've been contacted and I've just come up and interviewed a seriously disabled autistic girl who's been a victim of being gang raped by Muslim shop owners. That's the accusation. So I've travelled, I went out of work at 8 o'clock this morning and I've just finished now. I've just been into the shop. You'll see that video coming soon. I've been and interviewed the girl, I've heard the accusations, I've gone to the shop. The men are still running the shop. 2 years they're still running the shop. They're still running the shop. I have loads of little kids outside telling me, oh, you'll see the video anyway. You'll see the video anyway. But let me just, so if I explain that for today. Now, I left the house at 8 o'clock this morning. 3 of us, okay? 3 of us. I've spent £100. By the time I get home, it's £100 on expenses. That's a cheap way because we drove. We drive everywhere usually. That's a cheap way. So £100 expenses. Who pays for that? Who do you think pays for that? Because, you know, if you go to work, this is essentially, it's like a job now. It hasn't been. It never has been. I haven't paid one single bit for 8 years of this. But now we're in a situation where I was asked to work for Rebel and I didn't. I tried to do a video. It took me 3 months before I'd done a video. I'm a complete technophobe. Can't even work a camera. Let me just put my phone on divert because that's going to keep happening. Why can't I divert there? Are we live? Get off. Right. So we it took me 3 months to do a video. Then I've done a video and I've done a couple of videos, and they said, look, it's wasted. You're working every day. I said, well, I've got to pay my bills. You've got to pay your bills. Everyone has to pay their bills, don't they? Everyone's got to pay their bills. I've got aspirations. I've got, before the English Defence League, I had successful businesses. Everyone wants to be successful. I said, so I was working all the time. Now, trust me when I say that I was then offered, okay, so for you to stop working and be on our beck and call to report on these issues, what will it take? Now, trust me when I say I was doing a building contract on a house, building a house from top to bottom. Okay, I make a lot more doing that than what I agreed to take to cover my bills. So then Rebel UK, let me tell you how Rebel UK worked. When you see the videos, think about this. When you saw the videos after the Manchester terrorist attack, when 3-4 of us spent 2 days in Manchester, think about this. Who covers the hotel costs? Who covers the travel costs? Who covers all the costs? Because you don't get paid for YouTube hits on your YouTube videos. We don't. That's too big for you. We don't get paid for YouTube hits on the video, yeah? Because the demonetization hit everything. So all these videos, when you're watching them, let me tell you how it's paid for. In Canada, you have the Ezra Levant show. So Rebel Canada have a show that costs £7 a month. That's a daily show. Now, off the money from that show, that enables Rebel to have a base, have a headquarters, have an office, and grow. And grow. So basically, the last 9 months, 7 months, whatever it is, 10 months has taken, we're at £200,000 negative deficit from Canada. Canada subsidised Rebel UK. Because think about it, you've all been watching it, no one pays for it. No one pays a penny. And I always kept thinking maybe there is this funding, yeah, but there isn't. So Canada's subscription, because they have a subscription for their key fans, for their core supporters who want to help, not who have to help, because you don't have to. You don't have to pay to watch all of Rebel. You pay to watch a certain exclusive part of it. That's how it is. So then we're faced with, in the UK, and I see people saying, people have donated for a studio. Now the studio cost is £100,000. I'll tell you straight, £35,000 has been donated. That's what's been donated. So we're still £65,000 short. Now, at the current situation is, Canada have been subsidising everything. So we're then faced with, how do we continue to do what I've just done now? Which is leave the house in the morning, travel around the UK, bring you the stories that no other reporter's going to do. There ain't no other reporter going to walk into a Muslim-owned business and just stick it on them and question them and question the shops. It ain't going to happen. So to do that, how does that continue working? And do you know what I wish? I wish there was a multi-million-pound businessman or multi-million-pound person who would just say, here's the funding. Show everyone everything for free. I wish. That's how it's been for the last 10 months. But that is unsustainable. People must understand that. They must realise that. They must get that. So the idea is, for the Tommy Robinson show, is that there'll be different levels. So there'll be, you see the campaigns, say like today, what I've just done now, or the campaigns like Chris's campaign, or the Knox campaign, or the Justice for Chelsea campaign. These campaigns have to go to everyone for free all the time, because they're warnings to people, they need people's help, people need to see these things, okay? Then there'll be, so the idea is, this is the idea is, which I wish it wasn't, is that for the Tommy Robinson show, there has to be a subscribe part on it. There has to be a subscribe part on it, where people subscribe and pay a fee, which is worked out at £6.99 a month, for a certain exclusive content, okay? So it's like the newspaper videos we've been doing, they'll still go out, but a day later. So if you want them on the day, there'll be a subscription thing. And again, people don't have to, you don't have to. But what it'll enable is, you see what I've just done now? I'm on my own. I'm with Lucy and another fella, yeah? But I'm not with any security, okay? Now, you've seen the videos, you've seen to be honest, this is the main sway that throws it through it for me, yeah? You've seen the videos of me being attacked, verbally abused, punched, beat up, etc, etc. Now, I know, and I see a lot of people comment, what about security, Tommy? You see, if I bought 2 security with me here, it costs 300 quid, 400 quid. Again, who pays? Again, who pays for that? Who pays for it? How do you pay for that? Now, the fact is, if you have an exclusive segment of the show, which will be exclusive interviews, exclusive behind-the-scenes access, exclusive live feeds, it'd be 2 videos a day, full-time, yeah, full-time. But not everything will be behind a paywall. But for an exclusive segment, to then say if you can get people who subscribe, it then covers all of the costs. Now, as I said, we've raised 40% of the money for the studio. We've still got to pay the other 60%. When we get in the studio, we've still got £2,500 a month overheads. That's before you take in 6 people employed full-time. That's before you take in 6 people employed full-time. That's before you put a bulletproof doors on it. That's before then, you say if I want to go somewhere, so I'm going somewhere next week, actually. I'm going somewhere next week where there's going to be 12 men. 12 men I'm going to find. Muslim grooming paedophiles. Accused Muslim grooming paedophiles. Yeah? Now, at an instant like that could go seriously wrong for me. Now, I keep walking into every one of these on my own. Every one of them on my own. To bring you the story. Now, how do I get security? This is it for me. $6.99. I know people, do you know what? Louder with Crowder does it. Dave Rubin does it. Gavin McGuinness show does it. Every alternative media has a selective bit of the show that people subscribe to pay for, which helps them cover all of their costs so they can continue doing what they're doing. We're not the BBC where we get a licence fee. We don't get a licence fee. We don't have Saudis punching money in like most media do, so then they can rule what's being said. We give you the core honesty. But how can that be done? I keep asking because I see a lot of people but not get negative comments as soon as you talk about paying for money. And do you know what? I watch Gavin McGuinness, I watch Louder Crowder, I watch Dave Rubin, or I've been on all their shows. I personally haven't subscribed. Yeah, so I get it. I get the British way. This is new to us. Nothing's been done like this in the UK where people are expected to pay to watch content. But that's because we don't have Saudi petrol money funding us. That's because we don't have BBC licence money funding us. But you must ask yourself, all I'd ask is, how do we pay for it? How do we pay for camera editors? How do we pay for camera girls? How do we pay for the office? How do we pay for the overheads? How do we pay for our petrol? Next week, I'm going to travel to Germany. I'm going to go with, there's 4 of us going. That's 4 people's flights. And trust me when I say we won't be living a lavish lifestyle. We're booking flights to Germany. I'm having to go down to Southend. I've got an airport in Luton. But Southend flights are cheaper. Yeah. But I'm going to go to Southend. I'm going to bring you demonstration from Germany. Tens of thousands. I'm then going to Poland. 100,000 marching against Islam. Okay. But what I'll ask again is, who pays for those flights? Who pays for the hotels? We sleep 2 in a room. We're not having our own rooms. Who pays for this stuff? I've at McDonald's. I'm outside KFC. It's a KFC story of my life, and it was shut. It was shut. But what I'm asking is, ask yourself, if you're one of the people who's going to put a negative comment about there being a subscribe button, okay? A subscribe part to this show. There has to be. Otherwise, it's unsustainable. If you have the negative comment, then just ask yourself this question. Who pays? How does it work? How can I left my house at 8 o'clock this morning. I'm standing in Stockport. That's where I am now. I've got a 2, 3 hour, 4 hour drive home. And then I'll get up again in the morning. Yeah? And we'll do it again tomorrow. In fact, we'll do the other part of the show, which is Friday Fatwa, which is Hadith of the week. But what I'm asking is, because I hate, when people say, I hear people say, oh, you do it all for the money. I've done 8 years of absolute bullshit with no money. Everything taken off us. Everything against you. Prison, beatings, no money, right? It wasn't about books then, because I hadn't wrote a book. I wrote a book, my books have been successful, okay? I use that money to further my family, to provide for my family, okay? But what I'm saying is, I just think that, and you want us to pay for a trip to Barbados? No, Cancun, please. No, it's true. And it's not, I'll just be upfront and honest with you. That's how it is. And to have a show, or to continue doing what we're doing with people, to continue working full time, to hire more people, to grow, to build a base in the UK, someone's got to pay. And I'm sorry about that, but that's how it is. And I think that's so if you want to pay, if you want to subscribe, what I'd say is you'd be helping me you'd be helping us pay all the overheads. But I'll be in a situation where I have a beck and call security. Now, I haven't got that. I haven't got that. Every single person in my situation across Europe has 24-hour day paid guards. 24-hour day. I have nothing. And it's not like I hide. I fucking walk in everywhere, don't I? So, at some point, that's going to go wrong. I know that. Anyone with half a brain knows that. At some point, it's going to go wrong. At some point, someone's going to stick something in me. At some point, that's going to happen. Right? If I can have a Tommy Robinson show, and unfortunately if people have to pay a subscription to get exclusive access to parts of it, then it pays to keep me alive. So Rebel is a sinking ship. Look, I'm reading your comments. To be honest, for me, this isn't about Rebel. It's about a Tommy Robinson show, where what I'm saying is, if people subscribe, and people who don't want to pay to subscribe, don't subscribe. There still is free content, there still is videos, it's just that there has to be an exclusive part. For example, I'm doing a Manchester talk. The idea is that the people who subscribe, when it's set up properly, there'll be a full live stream with a camera on me like this, the whole entire time I'm doing an event. If I'm going places, you're watching, you're with me on that trip. Yeah? So I know people say £6.99, or I'd think £6.99. It's bloody a pint in some places in London, 1 pint. I'm up north. Where am I up north? I'll probably get a pint, 4 points for that, won't I? But yeah, that's it. That's all. I just want to clear the air. I want you, if you've watched this, share it. I want you to make sure that people understand before you see. When you see, because in fact, I might be one of those people who would say that if it was about someone else. When you see, £6.99 a month. He wants £6.99 a month to watch his new show. I just ask you, how do we do it otherwise? How can you do it otherwise? How can you do it? How can you do it? And take into account that it's not just me. You're not just seeing a Tommy Robinson show with me standing there. We want to build a proper show. Well, it's gone dark. We want to build a proper show in a proper arena with full-time staff, employed full-time. Someone's got to pay them. When you go out to work, think about this. You go out to work, you get paid. You cover your rent, you cover your bills, you cover your food. That has to be the same for every employee that's going to be working in my studio. Yeah, the thing you have to think about, would the average person go to work in my studio? Bearing in mind, at some point, it could become a terrorist target. So most of these people who are going to be working there, they're just ordinary people. You see, the other day I had to keep one of them completely off camera. They don't want to be on camera. They don't want to be on camera. But yeah, mate, that's, to be honest, the pricing regime would work out that for what we expect to get would cover the UK costs. And when I say we're at a -200, think about it. Think about, we've had 4 people, even some of them are left, some of them have come, 4 or 5 people employed full time for 10 months. It's paid for from the Ezra Levantro in Canada. That's how we've been paying our bills. And yeah, I wish I could do a Tommy Robinson show that would go out free to every single person every day. It's just simply not possible. It's impossible. So that's all, that all being weighed up, that all being looked at. It's like, I think that I have a dedicated support base of people who want to help. I get people, you can watch the video of this. I've just gone to confront this group, this shop, and I've had a man come up to me, shake my hand, go to the cash point and come back with money. I said, I don't want your money, mate. I don't want your money, yeah? I don't want your money. He goes, well, what do you want me to do with the money? Yeah? People want to help, okay? People want to help. So to those people who want to help, then that's the option of subscribing. It's not for everyone, but for those people who want to help, then you'll be subscribing. You'll help us grow, you'll help us operate, and hopefully you help me stay safe. But the video we've done tonight, I have to really, because I have to be cautious, I have to check legalities now on exactly what we've just done, because I've sat down with a victim, a highly disabled victim. I've heard the accusations, and we've gone to their shop. And the shop is as a warning. Do you know what? Since a post went on Facebook in this area, which is Stockport, since a post went on Facebook last week, apparently 4 more victims have come forward. One of them being an 11-year-old boy. 11-year-old boy. Now, if there's an accusation, if you live in the local area, and this accusation is made, maybe you have you do have innocent until proven guilty. Maybe they get off on a court trial. But you want to know, wouldn't you? If there's an accusation against the men in that shop for doing this, you'd want to know, wouldn't you? I'd want to know. So I'd want to know if I had a daughter, and that's what I want to bring you. I want to bring you, this is where the shop is, this is what they've done, this is what's going on. So that video will be coming soon. That's it. I needed to talk to people, I needed to explain things before you start seeing promo videos for the Tommy Robinson Show that tell you to subscribe and pay monthly. As I said, you've heard it. So now I hope I can just play this video again when I see people saying, you've sold out, Tommy, we want money, you want money, you want money, you want money. No, it's impossible otherwise. It's impossible. It's impossible.